What is going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with my Browns Ravens Week 11 game recap as the Browns lose a tough one today to the Baltimore Ravens at the Dog Pound for only the second time since Kevin Stefanski took over. That's freaking crazy. Yeah, they lost at home in 2020, and then they lost again at home in 2023. Now, the funny thing is, those 2 years, they made the playoffs. This year, they're not even close. I will say this, the defense did its thing today. If it was up to the defense, they would have won this game. But unfortunately, once again, the offense was a virtual no-show. We got very little out of the offense today, aside from that second drive of the game, where they were actually moving the ball down the field, and then they got near the red zone, and then they just sputtered. They did get a pick six on Lamar Jackson, and then they got another interception by Carson Schlesinger. Funny enough, both interceptions were by linebackers. Yeah, Devin Bush had the pick six, his first in 6 years. That's actually insane. And then Carson Schlesinger got his second interception of the season. And then Myles Garrett, once again, was feasting on the Ravens O-line. He had not one, not two, not three, 4 sacks today. And in total, the Browns had 5 sacks. Michael Hall even got a sack today, too. So that's pretty cool. You know, the defense could only do so much. And again, the offense gave us very little. As Dillon Gabriel went 7 for 10 for 68 yards, no touchdowns or interceptions, got sacked 1 time. And then he had to leave the game because of a concussion. So Shedeur Sanders came in, and for a guy that had taken 0 first team snaps in practice at all, not during training camp, preseason, and obviously during the regular season, he came in as cold as Lake Erie in the middle of January. And honestly, I've seen worse. 4 for 16, 47 yards and a pick. He tried to lead us on a legacy drive, I guess, to tie the game at the end. Got us close, just couldn't get it in the end zone. There was a couple times where he almost did. He had the pass to Isaiah Bond that was a little overthrown. And then you had the pass to Larvadane, which was on the money, but unfortunately, the defensive back had his arm in the way and he just knocked it out. Yeah, I mean, not really much you could say. Like I said, I've seen much worse. How about we go back to 2023? Dorian Thompson Robinson, 19 for 36, 121 yards, 3 interceptions. Like I said, I've seen way worse than what Shedeur did. But now, I want to see what Shedeur can do with a full week of practice with the ones. Because he's doing that with no practice reps at all. Like, I don't think he practiced with the ones at all during camp in general. From rookie mini camp, well, obviously with the rookies, but like, I'm talking OTAs, training camp, and everything. Not a single rep with the ones. Like I said, I've seen way worse. Right? He could have went out there and thrown like 5 picks, only throwing 1 interception, and he was like this close to throwing a game-tying touchdown. Very close. So close. Just wish we had better personnel around him, especially protecting him. Because, like I said during my stream many times, our O-line is practically a bunch of old men and bums. Now, the interior guys, Batonio, Posick, and Teller, those are the old men. They're good, but they're just old, and they're not as good as they were previously. The bums are on the edges. Jack Conklin and KT Leviston, who had to come in for Cam Robinson, who You guessed it, got hurt. Yeah, I think I know what positions the Browns are going to draft in this upcoming draft. You got to draft a tackle, man. You have to. Now, are they going to draft a quarterback? I don't know. But honestly, at this point, I want to see what Shedeur can do with a full week of practice. And of course, we're facing the Raiders next week. And you know what's funny about that? The Raiders were one of the teams that were rumored to be interested in Shedeur during the draft. Now, how funny would it be if Shedeur goes out there next week in Vegas and he slaughters the freaking Raiders? That would be funny. Then again, he could also go out there and throw 5 interceptions and look like DTR. Oh, man. Guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens with Dillon Gabriel. Because, again, he's in the protocol, so we'll see how he progresses. But, I mean, Shedeur, he didn't look that bad. So I guess you could say,
I'm leaving here with something.
I'm leaving here with something. And speaking of that, Quinton Judkins, 17 carries, 59 yards. Not too shabby. Dylan Sampson, only 1 carry, 19 yards. I think that's a career high for him. Shedeur, 3 for 16. Isaiah Bond had a carry for 8 yards. Jerome Ford, 1 for 2. Dylan Gabriel had 2 for 2. And then through the air, Cedric Tillman, 3 receptions, 52 yards. Harold Fannin, 2 for 26. Judy, 3 for 21. Corley had 2 for 9. Njoku had 1 for 7. And then Judkins, Bond, Larvadane, and Sampson all had targets, but no catches. And then, of course, on defense, Devin Bush, pick 6. Carson Schlesinger had an interception. I mean, Myles Garrett continued to feast. He had 4 sacks. Mike Hall Jr. had a sack. That's cool. I mean, this defense is really, really good. And I just wish we had an offense that could match that energy. Because if we did, we might be in the playoff hunt right now. Alas, here we are. You could say our defense is like that meme of the Bugatti in the trailer park. Right? It's just the way it is. Defense kept us in that game. Just wish the offense could have matched the energy and added points. But it is what it is, The defense can only do so much. So with that, now we go to my post-game observations. Number 1, offense was very stagnant. I would compare it to a car with no wheels. You're just trying to drive on axles. It's not going to go far. You could even say square wheels, but at least with square wheels, once you get it going, it's fine. This thing had no wheels. Number 2, this defense has the defensive rookie and defensive player of the year on it. Carson Schlesinger and Myles Garrett might actually win awards, but yet the team's barely going to win maybe 5 games. It's honestly hilarious. But that's just how good this team is. Just give me a damn good offense, please. God. And then we get to see Shedeur. I mean, we finally get to see Shedeur. Granted, he was thrown in, and he didn't look overwhelmed. It's just the offensive line could barely protect. I mean, the Ravens were legit daring him to throw. They were packing everybody on the line. They're like, you're not going to run it. Hell nah. You got to throw it, kid. You got to throw it to beat us. And he didn't really have time at all. They were just sending everything. Man, who's it? Zach Orr? That's their defensive coordinator? He was just spamming blitz, 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 blitz. Forget blitz, bama, blitz. This was blitz, be more blitz. That's all he was doing. Because he knew. I mean, the O-line was low-key gabagoo garbage. They weren't going to protect him for long. It seems like there was a defender in Shedeur's face after like 5 seconds. Every time. Especially when they were going after KT Leviston and Conklin. So bad. So bad. Thank God Shedeur's got a hint of elusiveness in him. Uh, we'll see what he can do with a full week of practice, right? I know some people were hoping that we would see Baker Mayfield 2.0, right? Like when he did against the Jets, came in after Tyrod got hurt and led us down to victory. No, not this time. No, of course it wasn't going to happen this time. Well, it is what it is. Now we got the Raiders next week, same time, 4:25, and you know it. I'll be right here. So, yep. Game MVP, gotta be Myles Garrett. 4 sacks. Another wasted masterclass from the defense because the offense couldn't move the damn ball. Man, you force a couple turnovers against Lamar Jackson. We're talking about a guy who rarely turns the ball over as it is, and you forced two of them things, and you still lose. That's crazy. That's crazy. Again, the offense is like a car with no wheels. It's not going to go anywhere. So that's going to wrap it up for this one. And I'll be live for the Cavs on Wednesday against the Rockets. I know they play tomorrow, but I'm not going to go live tomorrow. I'm going to take a day off. They seem to do better when I don't stream them. Go figure. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday for Cavs Rockets. We'll see if DG's back. Not to mention, I can't stream the Cavs with no DG. The offense is just so out of whack. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for that. And that's pretty much all I got. With that being said, I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go, Browns. And I'm out. Bye bye.